Hello everybody. In this lesson we are going to be making a masking tape resist. This is my example that we are going to be making. This is an M for Martin, and I'm going to be showing you how to do this today. So my supplies that I am going to be using are just regular white paper, computer paper. I'm going to be using masking tape and these really cool neon crayons that I found at the dollar store. I also got the tape at the dollar store too. So the first thing we have to do is figure out what we want to make. You can make a picture, or I think the easiest thing to do is to make letters, block letters. So for my M, I have my paper in a horizontal position, because that way it will fit a little bit better. One tip I'm going to give is if you use tape, sometimes you want to make sure that you make it less sticky than it is. If you have painter's tape, sometimes that works a little bit better because it doesn't stick as much and it won't rip your paper. But what I think I'm going to try doing is I'm going to use my leg, and I'm just going to put the tape on my leg a couple times just to get some of the stick off, and then I'm going to stick it to my paper. Okay, that way when I go to pull it off later, it won't rip my paper, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to do that a couple of times. So making an M the best I can. Doesn't have to be perfect, that's what I say all the time. Alright, now I need one more. I think that should be good. I'm just using my leg to get some of the sticky off. And I'm going to stick it to my paper. All right, there's my M. Looking good. Now, these are really cool crayons that I found. Like I said before, I found them at the dollar store. They are neon crayons. And you can make any kind of design, or you can color your paper however you want. I just happened to do diagonal lines, and I used kind of in a rainbow color pattern like I did with the last project that I showed you guys. But you can do anything you want. So maybe I'll do a little bit different this time, and maybe I'll do wavy lines. And you can draw right over the masking tape because it's going to come off, so it doesn't really matter if you draw on it. So then I'm just going to color it in. Or if you want, you can, can do whatever you want. Make designs, make lines. You do want to make sure, though, that you color around the letter, or else it's not going to show up. So maybe I'm just doing some wavy lines here, and then I'm going to color them in using my different color neon crayons. Okay, I'm going to go through and I'm going to color these ones too, because I don't really want to leave a whole lot of white. The white part is going to be the resist part, or the part that does not get color on it. You can also do a resist with white crayon. Instead of the tape, you could draw with a white crayon and then use watercolor to paint over it, and that will create a resist, and the water will move away from the wax, and then you will be left with your letter. We are doing it a little bit simpler today with just our tape. Okay. The dollar store that I went to was the one on Erie Boulevard. They had a lot of supplies there still. It's one of my favorite places to go for art supplies. They have regular markers and regular crayons too, but I just thought these were really cool, so I got them. I also got some sparkly crayons that I'm going to try out at some point too.